Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting for financial freedom. If you're a JASMY holder, I've got some fantastic charts here that I'm going to be sharing with you. Really, I know that right at this point, a lot of people are feeling like JASMY is bearish, and instead of bouncing here off of this major support that we were seeing, they actually think that, you know what, JASMY is going to break down, since it appears like there's this head and shoulders bet. But I happen to differ, and I'm looking at a different thing altogether, which I'm going to be sharing with you right now. But before we go any further, let me show you here the Bitcoin price, and you can see that really it's approaching previous all-time high, and once it exceeds like $73,000 or something like that, this is price discovery. This is great news for everybody who's holding any sort of cryptocurrency, because the order of the day is that Bitcoin takes out its previous high, it goes, then all the other altcoins are going to be following in, and they even outperform Bitcoin. So again, if you're worried that JASMY is not moving as much as Bitcoin is doing, you may actually be wrong. For example, you are seeing here Bitcoin in the last 24 hours is up 2.38%, right? But JASMY in the same time frame is up 4%. So I mean, in as much as yes, Bitcoin is making noise and making the waves, JASMY is outperforming it without making so much noise. But I think I want you guys to focus much more on your gains rather than the noise. It's great that BTC is breaking out. We all want to be seeing that, but of course, probably we love JASMY more, right? Now, I even have better news for you if you're a JASMY holder, because this specific chart here, which I'm comparing the JASMY price to the Bitcoin price, we are seeing that we have reached a very, very significant Fibonacci retracement level from, the moment we were bottoming out in 2023 to the peak that we had back then in June or March. I really don't remember, but whatever the case may be, we are back at a very important Fibonacci retracement level. And of course, just like magic, we are beginning to see that JASMY has begun making some gains against Bitcoin here. So I hope this is pretty much a sustained move. I remember making a video like this back then in 2022, and I was saying that JASMY is going to outperform Bitcoin. Like, it was just a crazy idea to put it out there, but it actually turned out that that was the case, right? We outperformed Bitcoin by 500% in the last time that we were having, JASMY pumping towards the upside. So the same thing is going to happen again. And not only does it look like JASMY will outperform Bitcoin, it also looks like it's going to be outperforming other altcoins which are outside of the top 10. As you can see, the JASMY chart that I'm comparing to every other cryptocurrency, the market cap that is outside of the top 10, we are seeing a very critical structure here. As you can see, I'm sure you've come across structures like this, and usually this things tend to end this way, right? A prime example of that is a chart that I was giving yesterday of Cardano, and you see pretty much the same thing, right? You've got this huge crash, somewhat of a rally before the whole thing capitulates and flattens out here. Then obviously you expect a huge rally to show up right there. So coming back to what JASMY is looking like against the rest of the market, we are seeing that we have almost that same thing showing up right there. I mean, it's just great. It's just great. But now let me bring your attention to the short term that we're experiencing right at this point with JASMY. This is the JASMY price that on the left side here on a 12-hourly time frame. And then of course we've got the Bitcoin price back then in 2015, which we are comparing and saying that, look, the same thing that we are seeing JASMY doing right now is almost the same thing that Bitcoin was doing back then. So, I mean, the structure is very much clear. I try to go ahead and highlight the stages of this formation. But what we are seeing is potentially where we are right now with JASMY. This is a great moment to be accumulating JASMY, looking for the next one that is going to be showing up right there. This is why you see I have got this arrow pointing towards the upside. I post a lot of things related to JASMY on X, but in the last 2 weeks or so, in terms of the feedback that I get as comments, they have never been this negative. You only get maybe one positive comment, and the rest of the content is basically like, you know what, you're crazy, you're delusional. JASMY is never going to be able to pump above 4.5 cents again. This is when I kind of understand that, you know what, we are at a major support level here. Why are people really this much? I'm also taking a look at the Bitcoin price, and I'm seeing that we're really approaching all-time high when everybody is skeptical. This is very unusual. And usually you have to understand that the market is wrong-footed. So what normally happens is that when BTC is approaching a previous all-time high, it's euphoric, everybody is excited about it. But this time around was not the case. It's just maybe between today and yesterday when people started to say, you know what, yeah, this is maybe getting real, but it's late already. When Bitcoin was at $49,000, who was saying that is the time to buy? Nobody was saying that. So that's the same thing that is going to be happening here with the JASMY price. That it will pump, it will go to 2.3 cents, 2.4 cents, and yet people will still be like, think that, am I going to be wrong with this one? 100% I can be wrong, but what I don't want to do here is come and tell you things that I don't believe in. I want to be putting my money where my mouth is. So when I was seeing that bottom, I was talking to Patreon members, telling them, you know what, I've taken another step at JASMY. Yesterday I showed you this trade. It was up only 15% or 14%, whatever the case may be. Today we are almost double that. We are up 39%. and of course the best is yet to come. So yeah, of course I'm expecting this structure to continue pushing towards the upside. Other than that, long term you can still see this cup and handle formation, which leads JASMY to right around 60, 64 cents, 70 cents, whatever the case may be. It's still okay. To be honest with you, I'm using this one just as extra information and additional data to what really I'm looking forward to. But the main price target that I have here is, of course, I think you have seen this a lot, the JASMY versus the Velo price. That the similarities here were too much striking that I couldn't ignore this. So I've set my preliminary price target here for JASMY right around 54 cents. Why? Because that's where the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level is. That's the golden ratio. So this is where a lot of these altcoins tends to stop, like when they are breaking into previous all-time highs. For JASMY, yeah, this is not a previous all-time high, but we are referencing 30 cents as an all-time high because we know that, you know, there were a lot of dilutions and stuff like that. So the other part of the JASMY price really doesn't reflect what was happening there. Now, there's another interesting thing that I'm seeing here on the JASMY price, that again, we are referencing 30 cents as the previous all-time, and we come up with a very common structure that I've been showing you maybe a few moments ago. And we compare it to what Cardano was doing. You guys, if you've been watching my channel since 2023, you know that we have been talking about this, comparing JASMY to Cardano for a very, very long time. And now I think we have gotten super close to a huge breakout happening here for JASMY. So, I mean, I want you to take a look at how similar these charts are. So this is the Cardano price. Then again, go to the JASMY price set here, and you probably will not be able to find much differences, right? Except that me is anticipated to do something like this here, right? Just to do the same thing that Cardano was doing back then. But much more interestingly, even from a time frame perspective, if we try to say, you know what, how long did it take Cardano from its previous all-time high to the initial breakout that it was having to leave the whole range right there, right? Let's do the measurement right away, and then from this peak right there to where the thing started taking off, really, we were seeing something like 1,097 days, right? Now, coming back to JASMY to where we are right now, we can see that we have spent about 1,090 days. So now the question is, in the next 7, 8 days, 15 days, can JASMY begin its rampage towards the upside, right? This really is a huge question mark in my mind. Do I really believe 100% that the Cardano structure will be able to predict the time in which the JASMY price that does something crazy? Probably not, but I also know that in 7 days from now, there is a United States election, and in the days that follow, you know, if the candidate who is pro-crypto wins, we're going to be seeing some kind of movement in the market one way or the other. And even if that didn't happen anyway, markets are moved by elections, so that's a catalyst that is also going to be happening in the next 7 days or so. So let's see what happens. I mean, it's just a thought that came to my mind that, okay, from a time frame perspective, how close are we? And to see that a structure which, number one, just looks as like the JASMY price, and then secondly, even from a time frame perspective, we have come to like super close within 7 days of that happening. So really pivotal time for me, at least. But you know, people may have different opinions altogether. So I want you to tell me what you think about this specific chart here, the Bitcoin price, the JASMY price, that even the chart that is suggesting that, you know what, Bitcoin is likely going to be outperformed by JASMY in the coming few months or so. And you tell me what you think about all of that thing, right? I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video just by delicately tapping the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and people looking for JASMY content will now be able to find this video much more easily. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Then finally, let me invite you to this new user time limited event from our partners over there at BingX. Go ahead, register with their exchange and claim up to $5,450 in terms of vouchers, benefits, and all different things, right? On top of that, 300 ton tokens. But the thing is, this event is going to be lasting only 2 days from now. I would say go ahead and take advantage. The links will be there in the description. And of course, another one in which we can participate in deposit to win 7,100 USDT trial funds, vouchers, and a whole bunch of different other things. Again, this one is going to be lasting only 2 days. The link will be down there in the description. Let me just remind you that none of what I say is financial advice, and you shouldn't be buying or selling anything because of anything I say, alright? But if you like the content, don't forget to delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and then I'll see you on the next one. Take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.